and we are here with Darren Smith of Red Dragon Cartel. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, and you, sir?
Good, good. So, you've been in the news lately with a bit of a show at the Whisky, but let's not start there. We'll get to that. How'd you meet Jake? Jake E. Lee of Ozzy's band, or formerly of Ozzy's band?
Pretty much minding my own business back home. I live in Curtis, which is part of Oshawa, Durham area, just outside of Toronto. And I went into our local music store, Law McQuaid, and Kevin Simpson there, a good friend of mine, manager there. He said, "Hey, Jakey's looking for a lead singer," and I'm like, "Oh, cool." I didn't really put two and two together what he was getting at. And he told me I should send something in, and I was kind of hemming and hawing about it. I couldn't really see what he'd want with me. So
Right.
a couple days later, I sent in a track that I wrote, like many people did for Slash. He sent out a bunch of songs when he was trying to put Velvet Revolver back together again. So I got a blank track, and then I wrote lyrics and melodies to it. And so I had that in the vault. And then I had some projects I did a shot a video for, a band called Bastard.
Right.
A very funny, humorous, hard, punky rock song called L.A. Whore. And I sent it in, and it just so happened that Kevin Churko, who's the executive producer of the Red Dragon Cartel's first record, he also produced the track I did for Slash.
Right.
And he thought it was the best written song, and he liked my voice. So they said, that's the guy. Jakey was looking through, I guess, many applicants that were sending stuff in, and then he saw mine or heard mine. He goes, "Okay, well, let's use this guy as the bar, and if we find someone better, great. But this is what it can't be. It has to be as good as me."
Right.
So that's what they did. And he kept coming back to me, and then I got a call probably 12 hours later by Ronnie Mancuso, who's the bass player and also producer of the band. And we started writing, over Skype. We recorded all my tracks via Skype. Like it would be tracked in the studio I was in Canada, but we could see and hear each other through Skype. It's like being here. It was incredible. Actually, it's more efficient because he could stop me, tell me right in my cans, "Okay, that was good, move on," or "That's no good," or he just, he direct me through the whole thing. And that went on for 7-8 months. It took about a year to have the record written. And I just kept doing it, and the whole time I was doing it, I wasn't counting my eggs yet. I didn't think it was my gig, and it really wasn't. And I was, I've been in this business long enough to know that you don't get your hopes up. You just do the best you can do, and sometimes you fail, and sometimes you don't. So we carried on, and eventually I got out here, and we rehearsed for 2 or 3 days, and we were just jamming, just getting to know each other.
Now, out here is Vegas.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas. Basically, I don't have to leave one block. Everything I need is right here. The Bootlegger is where I eat every day. Studio's right beside it. My hotel's right behind it. There's cigarettes up there at the gas station. I don't really need to go anywhere, and I'm not a gambler, and I've got so many friends here. I've been hanging out with them. I got lots of buddies here. I've been seeing Brent Fintz and Johnny Root and all them guys. So we got together. This is the last time I was in town. This is not the time I'm in town. So we rehearsed, and at the end of it, I just looked at Jacob. "So I got the gig or what?" And he goes, "You always had the gig," and that was that. He's a sweet man, like a super nice cat, man, best boss ever. But anyway,
Now,
I'll get to that in a little bit.
You've probably had a chance to talk to Jake. What has he told you about not really being on the scene for 20 years? Has he said anything like, "Man, I just couldn't do it. I was scared. I was tired. I needed a break"? Has he said anything?
He doesn't need to be in the limelight. That's not his thing. He's a songwriter. He's a guitar player. He never stopped playing. He never stopped writing. That's how come the record came together so easily. He just didn't feel the need and he was under a lot of pressure with Ozzy replacing Randy. And then he went from that situation to Badlands. And then all the Badlands fans are going, "Why don't you play some Ozzy?" And he just couldn't please everybody. And it got frustrating. And then he just kept to himself. And out of
Badlands, unfortunately, was poorly timed in terms of Nirvana hit, and then the whole scene fell apart, and then the singer passed away, and it was like, could anything go worse? You
The
know?
whole rock and roll community took a hit when that happened. But
Yeah. But it
change
was a
is good.
great band. Great band. Eric
It
Singer,
was.
great drummer.
It was. Yeah. And he just sort of fed up, and it took. Well, he shot a video with Ronnie in a band called Beggars and Thieves,
Yep.
and the response from the public, just seeing Jakey back out playing, was overwhelming. And so they suggested to Jake, "Why don't we do a record?" And I guess the rest is history. He just decided, playing with us, that he really loves to play again, and he really loves to jam with us, and he really loves us. Like he really likes what he's doing. And he goes, because if he didn't like it, we've got all kinds of pressure from all different sources about what songs we should play and all that. But he says, I'm just going to do what I want to do. Because if I'm not going to please me, why am I even doing this in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
And we got his back. So, I mean, he's got such a large body of work to choose from. I mean, there really are no bad songs. So,
And a great body of work, too. Now, the other thing here that you did on the album is you have the song Feeder, which on the Japanese version, you get the Red Dragon Cartel version, but for everybody else, we've got this Robin Zander version of Cheap Trick, the voice of rock. How was that, having him come into the studio? I mean, that's not some chump here. I mean, that's the voice of rock right there.
well, Jakey, they were thinking about singers, and initially they were going to do the slash approach, where there'll be a different singer on every song.
Right.
And so they thought about this song, and the song came together so well and so effortlessly. Jakey goes, "I'd really like Robin Zander to sing this." And then Ronnie goes, "I know Tom." So they called him, and he said, "Okay."
And he did it.
Yeah.
How cool is that, though? So, all
I'm
right.
on a record with Robin Sanders, brother.
That's what I'm
so
thinking.
cool.
And as an old school fan of rock, of Kiss and Cheap Trick, that's prime reason just to buy the album. Other than Jake, you got to get
Yeah,
it now.
it's a brilliant performance too. It's brilliant.
So the album came out in Japan on Monday, December 16th, and you guys it's coming out in the rest of the world in January.
Yeah, late January.
Late January. So I guess you're going to do the normal thing: get out on the road, play some shows.
There's talk of us doing the NAMM show, headlining the NAMM show.
Oh, good.
That'd be like January 24th. It's not confirmed, but it's looking really, really good. And we've got about 40 dates from before Monsters of Rock cruise to well after, obviously, and through the States, and then Austria and all kinds of interesting places to go.
All the sort of headline shows, or at some point do you hook up and be an opening band, or?
Oh, I'm sure. We're doing a lot of festivals. We're doing a Sweden Rock Fest with Sabbath.
Oh,
We're playing Donington with Aerosmith.
The Cheap Trick, Aerosmith, Sabbath. And you're gonna play any shows with Kiss and Cooper at any point?
Actually, we are doing a show with Kiss.
Oh, there.
I can't remember where it is or which one it is. I've been trying to not get ahead of myself. That already happened, and it was a disastrous outcome. But
really? You're doing a show with Kiss?
Yeah. I wish I had it all written down for you, but it's posted on the Red Dragon Cartel site on Facebook. It's posted on our website, reddragoncartel.com.
Yeah, it's important to get that in there. Yeah, I'll be texting you when I need a pass for that one. But
absolutely, my friend.
But let's talk about this first show. That's where the internet blew up, and probably unfairly.
Yes,
fairly and unfairly.
Unfairly, no.
I mean,
I say harshly, yes. Unfairly, no.
No, I mean, I saw the video on YouTube. Let's not make excuses. It wasn't as good as it should have been.
No.
But that's the problem with YouTube. You can't have a bad night without everybody knowing it. So what happened?
What happened was a bunch of dates came up, and we had very little time to rehearse or get here. We had 4 rehearsals, and out of the 4 rehearsals, only 3 of them were I would consider rehearsals. They were late night till 3 in the morning. We rehearsed the night before a show, which to me is taboo. I'm in Vegas. It's dry in the summer. This weather, I didn't even have a warm coat. I thought it was warm here because I'm a bit of an idiot. I didn't know, right? So we rehearsed like 6-7 hours a night, and then we rehearsed the night before the show, and then we had to get up for 7 o'clock. So we had 3-4 hours sleep tops, drove 5 hours roughly to LA, get there early. We're setting up, and the paparazzi were in there for sound check. There's 140 people watching a sound check, and everything was fine then. But everybody's, it was just too much talking, and I was hoarse. I hadn't slept. I was coming down with a throat infection, and Ronnie gave me some medicine. I didn't know it was prescription, and I had one last shot before walking on, because everybody in the band did one together, and it just sort of kicked in midstream. And at the same time, too, no one told me how to be in the band. No one said, you should act like this, you should do this, right, you should do that. No one said anything. They just said, do what you do, Darren. So I've been playing bars scene for quite some time, and I'm the entertainer, I'm the jokester, I'm the ham, and I thought they wanted Ozzy, old party drunk Ozzy. Boy, was I wrong.
Right. Yeah.
So, all the haters came out, they told me what they thought. They judged me on that, and that's all they really have to go by, to judge me on it. I don't think it was necessary to be so cruel. It was borderline racism at some points, but
that's the internet, unfortunately. I mean, you look at when Kiss is playing or Metallica, and right away it's the haters that control the airwaves in a sense. So what are you going to do about it, right? There's not much to do.
Well, I've never been hated to that degree. I've never had any naysayers in my life, and I had no idea what I was walking into. I mean, I was probably drinking a little bit to calm my nerves, but Jakey told me, goes, he said, it's my fault, Jake's fault. He said, we didn't have enough time to rehearse. There's no reason why we should have done the Whisky first show. We should have went out and did other shows, but there was no time. So we pushed the envelope, and it didn't work out. But Jakey knows I can sing. Jakey likes my voice. And at the end of the day, if my band likes what I do, that's all that matters.
Right. So how do we win the fans back? I mean, I guess the only real thing is just to go out and string some shows together where you just kick ass, and then the word will get back out.
Yeah, sure. I noticed a lot of the people that were,
at the San Diego show didn't complain.
They were great. They all, a lot of them were at the Whisky show, and they all came up and said, that was so much better. But I was still only working on 4 pistons out of the 6. I was I'm still not 100%, like I said. But anyway, I'm good enough, and I'm just going to go steam bath myself all day tomorrow, and I'll be fine. But like I said, back home when I'm doing the club scene, just to tolerate being in a club for 4 hours and playing covers, I would just drink, you know. And I only drink when I was playing. I wouldn't get smashed by I've never done anything that bad before, but I just went out there and did what I thought I was supposed to do. And I read a lot of the comments, and they were hurtful, but at the end of the day, they're not all wrong. So you can always learn, and I learned more about what these people want from me. Right. They want me to let Jakey shine. They were kind of, you're upstaging him. Well, I wasn't trying to. I was just doing what I do, right?
Yeah, I read.
So then I pulled it back. Yeah, I pulled it back, and I kind of know what my position is, and and singing Ray Gillen songs, that's no easy task. And if you think it is, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. It ain't easy. But I still listen to those songs. I still try to learn every nuance of his voice, because to me, he was probably the best rock singer in 80s, 90s, bar none. And it's an honor to sing these songs. And I want to do a good job and pay tribute to the man that still stimulates me musically. He's just brilliant. And I listen to Rumblin' Train and Sunred Sun. I just go, wow, I get to sing these songs. So I'm not trying to do anything other than I'm capable of. So, it
is what it is. So lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the album comes out, and I think people should really judge you based on the actual album. I mean, I've heard in advance, Eddie Trunk's spoken about it on air. It's a great album. It's a great rock album.
Yeah, it totally sounds like Jakey, but a little bit current. A lot more current. Yeah. And he still has all the chops, and it's a fun band. Like when I'm playing with these guys, it feels like I'm in Led Zeppelin, because it's a magical. Each song, it's never the same way twice.
Right.
And we don't want to become a cookie cutter band. There's too many of those bands out there, and if we can do it our way and still be successful, to me, that is success.
Absolutely. And other than Red Dragon Cartel, are you doing anything else by yourself or with another band, or is this sort of your focus for 2014?
I'm not going to be spreading myself thin. Like I said, we've got a lot of dates coming up. We just shot 2 videos yesterday.
Nice.
2 different songs in the same day, and my legs were burning today. But anyway, you're gonna like these videos. Are pretty funny actually. But no, I'm going to be Jakey Lee singer.
Good.
I think when I go home to pay the bills, I might sit in with my longtime friends and play some covers. But as far as original stuff, no, I did a lot of that pre-Jake, and it got confusing. So I just think I'm going to be Red Dragon Cartel singer.
Good. And Canadian dates?
None yet.
I
still got to call my Canadian guys at Feldman and hook them up with the right guy. I'm looking for Casey Boyle. So if you know where he is, have him contact me.
Probably can find him. Good. Well, thank you, Darren. It's been a pleasure. And listen, fans out there, give him a second chance. He's a good guy. He sings well. Album's great. Come on. Right?
Cheers.
So where
it's only rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. So it's reddragoncartel.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Facebook.com/Red Dragon Cartel, I would imagine.
I'm guessing.
I'm guessing too, but I'll find out and I'll type it in the info.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure. Let me turn off this recording.